show. I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, that make pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like them keep a score. Ay, 16 cars in my front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Ay, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ay, she want it like me cause I blame she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit on my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts. Whole team counting, that's a big number.
Yeah. 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 Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew. So I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for.
Running free. I'm Jonathan Coachman. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Devontae Freeman. Fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside the Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback out of North Carolina State. It's Phillip Rivers.
And I'll bet right now just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week. 2
touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
They'll run it here. This is Buck Allen. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now it's Freeman. And he powers his way up past the 30.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And he hits his man, Matthews. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Rivers on the money, complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Mohamed Sanu is a guy that is often overlooked because he just quietly goes about his business. But how about last season? Had a career-high 838 yards on 66 catches, and he can also play Wildcat quarterback for you as well.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Now Rivers. Left side, caught by Matthews. And that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it's a second down.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers to, change up their timing, there's it.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Royce Freeman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss. Okay, and he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Out on the edge, you love to have cornerbacks like that can bring him down to the run game.
And you're also exposed to everyone. It really becomes a one-on-one play, doesn't it? You're out there by yourself on the edge. The best ones know how to make the play, and we just saw an example of it right there.
The reception good for 7. It's third down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Here's Newton. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Able to avoid him. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
So that flag will cost them 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. To throw, Rivers. Open man is Trey Burton. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 65 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is the #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Freeman a 1st down and more. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. They'll look to run with Freeman. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead.
Now he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Royce Freeman with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On second down, Freeman. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. On third down, Devontae Freeman. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. He's got the first down and more. Pass. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery. But on 4th down, a change of possession anyway.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now left side on the swing pass. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's third down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on third down. A shotgun snap for Newton. And left side here, it's Graham. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. They'll run for it. It's Freeman. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. Thought they might throw the football with a little chunk that they had remaining on 4th down, but they ran it, they got it.
And the reason they were able to get it done, he ran that play with conviction, didn't he? Understood he would get a little bit of help from his friends up front, but it was really on him to go ahead and make the power move and get it done, and that he did.
From the red zone now, Newton. And he's got it. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And that'll set them back 5. Boy, they had it at the 1. The false start moves it to the 6 now for first and goal. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's second and goal. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off the same way.
Now Newton on 3rd and goal. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Cam Newton. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Von Miller in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And he finds a man with a crossing route. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Vikings on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And taken right on the 30.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
Now, sometimes those punt returns can yield some unnecessary roughness penalty.
Now, I know a lot of guys, when they run a long way to execute a block or make a hit, they're going to launch it no matter what, and it can often cost them.
On 1st down, it's Newton. Out to his left, and he slides to avoid the hit. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Newton, and he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. So we have reached halftime. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, 2nd half. Let's do it. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Throwing on 2nd down. Newton, the Pro Bowler Tyreek Hill, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
He is going to find Hill here. 1st down Lions on a pickup of 13.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right? And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Joey Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, Disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. A handoff. Devontae Freeman. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. They've kept him in check until that run. That's the first time he's really gotten loose in this game.
And they have to keep that in mind. Don't dwell on the fact that he finally had a big run. You kind of are counting on that as the game went on. Get back to what you were doing before. Start limiting him again.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. This is Breida. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
20. Defense wins championships, baby. No. Off.
From the 50, Newton steps away to his left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
It's a game of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
The Lions on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Newton. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the 1st. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And avoids the contact by sliding.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
From the gun, here's Newton. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Here's Newton. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Pernell McPhee, always a threat to find the QB, and he gets to him there.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? A first throw for the backup Jackson. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Block the team! Right here. Cut it left. 3 down. Wait, 89!
On 1st and 10, Rivers. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Landry again the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs, but the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The Vikings on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Now on the run, he'll throw it back, and that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So the big play nullified, illegal forward pass.
And maybe we know why they were able to get such a good chunky yardage on that play. That pass was illegal.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Watch out for Hill on the return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's open.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
12 yards there and a first down.
Partner sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep and curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. Let's see who's faster. Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown.
Let's go, touchdown.
Trey Burton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Minnesota defense, we watch them get set to roll. Recovered the fumble up on the scoreboard. They've got the momentum.
And that's a confident group that we see hitting the field again. Just what you talked about. Took away the ball at the left.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Justin Houston making his presence felt there in the backfield. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. From the gun, Newton. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Newton. On target over the middle to Hill. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. CD, with that last pass, he joined a group of about 50 other men that are over 30,000 career passing yards. So, look, he's not at the top, but that's pretty good company.
Yeah, it's not the most exclusive fraternity in the NFL, but it's a pretty good one, isn't it? You still have to put some numbers up in order to get in, okay? The secret knock is still there. How about him getting it done? Proud of it.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the 1st, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Justin Houston able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Newton, space to run past the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. A gain of 6 there on 1st. The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Newton. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Operating from the gun. Newton. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So there is still time, a little over 50 seconds to go, but this becomes a critical onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now Rivers. And he'll find Akins there, complete. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The Vikings on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. So a big kick coming now for Dan Bailey. This will be from 56 yards out. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Getting set to go again here. Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and ask someone else to pick things up. He's got to do it himself, and that's what he's done here in this game.
He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Check 13. Check 20. Check.
Now it's Newton. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Hey! No. Tight door.
Here we go on 4th. Newton eluding the pressure right. Now it's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That, the definition of a do-or-die play, but they keep this overtime session going with a 1st down. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Minnesota, it may not be too late to salvage their season as the win moves them to 2-5 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next.
Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch it. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Hey. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Hat on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket. No change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left. Touchdown. Touchdown. 8th floor. Come down. Hotel. Lobby. Receptionist. What now? 11 a.m. Check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest. No recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables. Now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it. That's what happens when you got dreams closer than a matching. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking. They don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left. Touchdown.
They can't take it to 10.
Hey.
Not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Ay, 20 of us, that's 20 goons. And ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation. Ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot.